The moment I stepped into that imposing glass tower, I knew my life would change forever. What I couldn't have predicted was how one job interview would unravel everything I thought I knew about love, family, and second chances. If you're wondering whether fairy tales can happen to ordinary people drowning in student debt, keep watching. This is my story. Hey everyone. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more emotional journeys like this one. Your support means everything. My hands trembled as I smoothed down my only decent blazer, purchased from a thrift store 3 years ago when I still believed my English literature degree would lead to something meaningful. Now, at 26, I was $87,000 in debt with collection agencies calling daily. The tutoring agency had warned me this particular client was demanding, but paid triple the standard rate. I needed this job more than I needed air. Miss Bennett? The receptionist's voice cut through my anxiety. Mr. Blackwood will see you now. The corner office was intimidating, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan, minimalist furniture that probably cost more than my entire apartment building. But it was the man behind the desk who made my heart stutter. Alexander Blackwood didn't look up when I entered, his attention fixed on documents before him. Dark hair with distinguished silver at the temples, jawline sharp enough to cut glass, and shoulders that strained against his tailored suit. "You're late," he said, still not looking up. I checked my watch. "Actually, I'm 7 minutes early." That made him look up. Steel gray eyes assessed me with such intensity one felt physically stripped bare. In my world, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. I should have apologized, should have nodded meekly. Instead, I said, in the academic world, accuracy matters. "I'm 7 minutes early." Something flickered across his face, surprise, perhaps, or irritation. He gestured to the chair across from him. "Sit." The interview was brutal. He fired questions about my qualifications, teaching philosophy, and experience. I answered honestly, passionately, occasionally pushing back when his assumptions about education seemed outdated. Throughout it all, he revealed nothing about the child I would be tutoring. Why should I trust my daughter's education to someone who couldn't even manage her own finances? He finally asked, glancing at notes that somehow detailed my student loan situation. Heat rushed to my face. My financial situation has nothing to do with my abilities as an educator. And for the record, those loans paid for the very education that qualifies me to teach your daughter. "Sophia," he said quietly. "Her name is Sophia." Something in his voice changed when he spoke her name, a softening I hadn't expected from this human iceberg. "She's 10, he continued. "Brilliant, stubborn, and hasn't spoken a word since her mother died 2 years ago." The revelation hit me like a physical blow. "I'm sorry for your loss." "And hers. I don't need your sympathy, Miss Bennett. I need someone who can reach her." I leaned forward. "May I ask why you're interviewing me yourself?" "The agency said I'd be meeting with your household manager." A muscle twitched in his jaw. "I handle everything related to Sophia personally." "Everything except being there for her, I imagine," I said before I could stop myself. His eyes narrowed dangerously. "You know nothing about my relationship with my daughter." "You're right," I conceded. "I apologize. That was unprofessional." He studied me for a long moment. "You're hired." "What?" "You start tomorrow. 9 a.m. sharp. My driver will collect you." He stood, signaling the end of our meeting. "Don't make me regret this, Miss Bennett." The Blackwood penthouse was a museum of modern art and sleek surfaces, beautiful but cold, much like its owner. Sophia was waiting in the library, a tiny figure with her father's dark hair and eyes that held too much sadness for a child. "Hi Sophia," I said, kneeling to her level. "I'm Emma. I'm not here to force you to talk, okay? I'm just here to share some amazing stories with you." She regarded me warily but didn't run away. Progress. Over the following weeks, I discovered Sophia's passion for drawing. While I read to her from classic children's literature, she would sketch the scenes with remarkable detail. We developed a communication system. She would draw her responses to my questions. Slowly, I pieced together the girl beneath the silence. Alexander would appear unexpectedly during our sessions, watching from doorways with an unreadable expression. Each time our eyes met, something electric passed between us that I refused to acknowledge. One evening, after Sophia had gone to bed, I found him in his study, tumbler of whiskey in hand, staring at a photograph of a beautiful woman. "She looks like her mother," I said softly. He didn't look up. "Sophia has her talent. And her stubbornness. And your intensity," I added. "Your focus." Finally, he met my gaze. "You've made progress with her. The drawings. She's communicating. That's what matters. Why did you really take this job, Emma?" The question caught me off guard, especially hearing my first name in his deep voice. "I told you, I need to pay off my loans. There are easier ways to make money than dealing with a difficult child and her even more difficult father." I smiled despite myself. "At least you're self-aware. Answer the question." I sighed. "Because when I read your daughter's file, I recognized something in her. That silence, it's not just grief. It's protection. She's afraid that if she speaks, she'll forget her mother's voice." His glass froze halfway to his lips. "How could you possibly know that?" "Because I lost my mother when I was 9. And for months afterward, I would play her voicemail greeting just to remember how she sounded." The vulnerability that passed over his face made him suddenly human. "I work so much because when I'm home, her silence reminds me of everything I couldn't protect her from." "You can't protect her from grief, Alexander. You can only go through it with her." The breakthrough came during a thunderstorm. I found Sophia huddled in her closet, shaking with terror. When I tried to comfort her, she clung to me with surprising strength. "It's okay to be scared," I whispered, stroking her hair. "I'm right here." "Mommy was in a storm," came a tiny, rusty voice. The plane, she was coming home to me. My heart shattered and soared simultaneously. "Oh, Sophia. I miss her so much it hurts," she whispered. "I know, sweetheart. I know." That's how Alexander found us, huddled together in the closet, his daughter speaking softly about memories of her mother. He dropped to his knees beside us, gathering Sophia into his arms with a broken sound that wasn't quite a sob. "Daddy," she said, touching his wet cheek. Emma made the hurt smaller. His eyes met mine over his daughter's head, filled with something I was afraid to name. Things changed after that night. Sophia began speaking regularly, first to me, then to her father. The penthouse filled with her voice, her laughter. Alexander started coming home earlier, joining our lessons, rediscovering his daughter. And I discovered sides of him I never expected, his dry humor, his brilliant mind, the gentle way he tucked Sophia in at night. The way his eyes followed me when he thought I wasn't looking. But as Sophia flourished, my purpose there diminished. The agency called with another placement, a year-long position that would finally put a dent in my loans. I gave Alexander my notice with a professionalism that cost me dearly. "I see," he said, his mask of indifference firmly back in place. "Sophia will be disappointed." "I'll miss her terribly," I admitted. "But she's speaking now, thriving. She doesn't need me anymore." "And what if," he stopped, jaw tight. "Thank you for your service, Miss Bennett. You'll receive an excellent reference." My last day came too quickly. Sophia cried, making me promise to visit. Alexander was conspicuously absent, having left for a business emergency that morning. As I gathered my belongings, the housekeeper handed me an envelope. "From Mr. Blackwood." Inside was a check that would cover my entire student loan debt, with a note in his precise handwriting: "Your education was worth every penny. Thank you for teaching us both." Pride and hurt warred within me. I couldn't accept it, this dismissal of what had grown between us, reduced to a financial transaction. I left the check on his desk with my own note: "Some debts can't be paid with money." I was halfway to the elevator when I heard his voice. "Emma, wait." He stood there, tie loosened, hair disheveled, looking nothing like the controlled billionaire I'd first met. "You returned the check," he said, holding my note. "I'm not one of your business problems to solve, Alexander." "Is that what you think?" He moved closer. "That I was trying to solve you? What else would you call it?" "I call it panic," he said quietly. "Because for the first time since I lost Caroline, I found someone who matters. Someone who made my daughter speak again. Someone who made me feel again. And your response was to leave." "I have to work," I said weakly. "I have responsibilities." "Work here," he said. "Not as Sophia's tutor. As the head of the new literacy foundation I'm establishing. The salary is competitive." I stared at him. "You created a job for me?" "I created a purpose worthy of your talents," he corrected. "Whether you take it or not is your choice. Whether you give me, a chance, is also your choice. And if I say no to both?" His expression was raw, open. "Then I'll respect your decision. But I hope you don't." "Why?" "Because Sophia needs you." He took a deep breath. "Because I need you." In that moment, standing in the hallway of a billionaire's penthouse, drowning in student debt and unexpected feelings, I made a choice that would change everything. "I'll take the job," I said. "The other part, that needs time." The smile that transformed his face was worth every moment of uncertainty. "Time I can give you. It's the only thing I've never known how to spend wisely, until now." 3 years later, I still work at the Blackwood Literacy Foundation. Sophia is a teenager now, her voice strong and clear as she reads to younger children in our programs. And Alexander, well, some debts take a lifetime to repay. Fortunately, that's exactly what we have. If there's one thing I've learned from this unexpected journey, it's that sometimes the wrong turn leads you exactly where you need to be. Sometimes the sternest faces hide the gentlest hearts. And sometimes, just sometimes, fairy tales don't require magic, just the courage to walk through the right door, even when you're terrified of what waits on the other side. Thank you for watching our story. If it touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more tales of unexpected love and second chances. Remember, your next chapter could be waiting just around the corner.